What if the thing you swore was buried came back in the presence of God? What if the silence you've been carrying wasn't the same as innocence? If you've ever been on either side of betrayal, if you still believe God sees what no one else can, hit follow. Drop a comment with the word truth, and let's walk through one of the most mysterious, uncomfortable, and honest passages in the whole Bible. Numbers 5, verses 11 through 31. It's called the law of jealousy. A husband suspects his wife. No witnesses, no smoking gun, just a tension in his spirit, a gnawing ache in his gut, the kind of pain that can't prove anything but keeps him up at night anyway. And in a world where men could abuse power and women could be destroyed by rumor, God doesn't say, take it to the streets. He says, bring it to me. The woman is brought before the priest. Her hair is loosened, not to shame her, but to signify rawness, openness. She holds in her hands what the Bible calls an offering of jealousy, a symbol that says, this hurts too much to hold alone. And then the ritual. She drinks holy water mixed with ink from a written curse. Dust from the tabernacle floor is stirred into the cup. This isn't superstition. This isn't magic. It's a holy test, a sacred exposure. If she's innocent, nothing happens. She walks away vindicated, free, clean in the eyes of God and community. But if she's not, if there's hidden sin, then it surfaces. It hits her body. There's a visible curse, something physical that tells the truth her lips never did. Now let's be real. This passage is hard. It's weird. It presses on our modern sensibilities. But sit with this. God doesn't brush over suspicion, and he doesn't leave judgment in human hands alone. He steps into the gray areas, the messy middle, the place between rumor and reality, and says, let me be the one who knows what no one else can, because God protects fidelity, not just marriage vows, but the whole sacred thing called trust. This isn't about shaming women. It's about shielding the vulnerable. It's about safeguarding truth in a culture where people die from gossip, not just knives. You know what's wild? There was no test for a woman who suspected her husband. Why? Because in ancient Israel, a man with multiple wives or secret sin wasn't hidden for long. It always surfaced. But for the woman, whose whole future could hinge on someone's suspicion, God made a ritual of protection. He didn't let suspicion turn into slander. He turned accusation into intercession. He said, before you label her guilty, let me speak. And that's still the heart of God today. In a culture of whisper campaigns and screenshot scandals, he says, bring it to me. He sees what people don't. He knows what's real when others only guess. Some of us carry secrets we hope never come out. Others carry wounds from lies that already did. But the word says in Luke 12, there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. So maybe the most merciful thing God can do is expose what we buried before it buries us. He's not cruel. He's holy. He doesn't humiliate. He heals, but he will never make peace with lies. So I'll ask you what the passage asks me. What's been hidden too long? What's living in the silence? God says, bring it to me. Before it deals with you, let me deal with it, because truth still matters. And in his presence, nothing stays buried forever. If you've ever been betrayed, or if you've been the one who broke trust, you're not beyond redemption. But you do have to get honest. Comment truth below if you're ready to stop hiding. Tag someone who needs to remember God still reveals what's real, because even when we forget, the floor still has dust, and the water still remembers. Let's go.